It's another Thursday here at Crain and Company. To my left, former Michigan quarterback David Cohn. To my right, former Western State Colorado wide receiver Blaine Crain. It's a great day to have a great day as we discuss Donald Trump cup checking men and women's sports. Thank goodness. Has Kalen DeBoer been too soft on the players so far at Bama, and whether or not the NBA should just pack it up and move to China? Blaine, tell the people about the chat.
Yeah, chat, what's up? Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you donate, it's on topic. It will get read. All donations will get read at the end of the show. Going to have a bunch of polls today where you get to decide the winner. Coney, talk to me.
Hey, Hot Take Hotline tomorrow. Call in on Friday, 1-855-236-3228. You get 60 seconds. We want your hottest take tomorrow.
All right, let's get this thing started here on Crain and Company. Donald Trump just gave men and women's sports a swift kick in the wedding tackle, at least at the amateur level, as yesterday he signed an executive order banning men from playing in women's sports, with consequences attached if federally funded schools ignore it. It was a monumental day for common sense as Trump was surrounded by women and girls as he gave them their rights back from all the weirdos who want to invade women's spaces. It's incredibly sad that this even had to happen, that we live in a society that can put a man on the moon but doesn't know the difference between a male or female. The reason this had to happen is because a minority of lunatics and some sports celebrities egged this on, like we're just all stupid and should accept it. People like Billie Jean King, Candace Parker, Megan Rapinoe, and every other sports star or entity, looking at you, ESPN, who supported the eradication of females in sports. We must also celebrate those who stood on the table, though, like Riley Gaines and J.K. Rowling, which is ironic considering Rowling is one of the goats at creating a fictional reality, yet is still smart enough to know the difference between a dude and a lady. Also, our company here at the Daily Wire, who made a movie mocking this lunacy, hoping to show how stupid men playing against women really is. You see, the truth isn't about whether you're gay or trans or whatever. This is about using a gender ideology to force your way in and force others out. If you're a guy that wants to dress up as a woman and play in the NBA, more power to you. You're playing against dudes. We even had a gay player in the NFL. The difference is Michael Sam didn't want to go pass rush against a bunch of sorority girls. Those on the opposite side say this eliminates sports access from trans people. But it doesn't at all. You can be trans and just compete against your own sex. Just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean you get to take over and get your way on everything. This isn't how it works, buddy. I'm happy my newborn daughter won't have to deal with this when she gets older. And I'm sure most fathers and husbands are ecstatic about it. But let's not forget the people who were too cowardly to stand up for what is right, or I don't know, deleted tweets saying protect our daughters. Shame on y'all. But it's a day to celebrate because common sense is back on the table and justice has prevailed. We'll see who prevails this Sunday during a live stream of the Super Bowl. But David Cohn, I don't know anybody who thinks men should be playing in women's sports, and you have some people say, oh, well, it's such a small number. Well, to all those people out there, one is too many. Just opening the door for this is insane and sick, honestly. I'm hoping we're done with it. I'm hoping we're done with it, can move on. Just kind of what do you think?
I don't know if we're done with it. We got a long fight ahead of us. This was a great start politically, but like we said on Ben Shapiro's show yesterday, the bigger reason that this is a win is culturally, because I think that this is a 99% issue. And you look around and say, well, if something's a 99% issue, then how were people unable to speak up? It's because of that 1% minority that you're talking about when you talk about Fortune 500 companies and politicians and Hollywood celebrities. When the 1% has all the power, all of a sudden people looked around and said, wait, I could get fired or lose my job or get canceled if I say that men shouldn't play in women's sports, and it crept up on everybody before they knew what was happening. I think this is a big win politically, but culturally, it's even a bigger deal. But I have to say, can we pull up the ESPN tweet? This is really mind-boggling here. This is a company that claims to be the worldwide leader in sports. The company that we all grew up watching, right? The company that still airs the biggest games. If you want to watch sports, you have to deal with ESPN. This is their tweet yesterday. President Donald Trump will sign an executive order Wednesday designed to prevent the people who were biologically assigned male at birth from participating in women's or girls' sporting events. The people who were biologically assigned male at birth. So males.
Males.
Well,
I think a lot. I think, and again, it's not, we have friends at ESPN who are totally against this, but they're still afraid to come out and say anything. It's just the higher ups there. It makes you look so stupid. Like you can have 10 ideas and 9 of them are fantastic. Just fantastic, common sense, logical, whatever. But you come out and say stuff like this, I can't take anything else you say seriously. I can't. And it scares me. It's one of those things we've gotten to a point now where I'm hoping that this will start to change, but with ESPN, I don't know, man. And now, you know what'll probably happen? They'll probably come out and try to act like they never did anything. Like they were all for this at the moment in time. And L. Duncan, I can go down the list of all these fake people that are going to try and probably reverse course on it.
Well, let's know that ESPN is owned by who?
Disney, right?
Disney owns ESPN. Well, technically, Disney owns 80% of what ESPN. So Disney dictates what ESPN and what they say. And I'm not going to sit here and feel bad for you because you work for a company that you disagree with and you don't have the balls to stand up for what's right. I don't care what paycheck you throw at me. I'm not going to sit down and shut up and not say what I think is right. But I do know this, all right? There are some guys out there whose dreams are crushed, all right? Whose dreams are crushed. You know, you watch Lady Ballers, you know, and one that I know, and let's go ahead and throw it to you. I don't know if y'all know her, Scarlett Bob Johnson.
Never heard of her.
You never heard of her?
No.
Well, you will now. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Scarlett Bob Johnson?
Is this a real person?
It is.
Is this an imaginary?
It's not. It's a real thing.
Are you doing that thing where you make up people again?
No, I'm not, guys. I promise you this. Y'all didn't see this interview? It's pretty insane.
I've not seen the Scarlett Bob Johnson interview.
Okay.
Okay.
Good evening.
Okay.
Here it is.
Okay.
Good evening, America. I stand before you today a broken man, but also a woman at heart, who just wanted to dominate in sports legally. Donald Trump, Mr. I own every golf course in America, signed an executive order that robbed me of my dream. What's the point of wearing this wig and working on my layup if I can't drop 60 points in the WNBA? Do you know how hard it is to perfect my crossover while keeping it dainty enough so I wouldn't get called for charging? That's not easy. I sacrificed everything for this. Can you imagine the fear in the eyes of those poor women when I show up at the free throw line, hair flowing, lashes popping, and I drain shot after shot after shot like it's a fashion shoot? But now I'll never see their faces because big bad Donald Trump crushed my hopes. Mr. Trump, I demand you reverse this executive order so I can finally become the greatest player in women's sports. And to everyone watching at home, don't give up your dreams. Unless your dreams was dunking in the WNBA. In that case, grab a beer, buddy. I can do that.
That's all we have time for.
No, I'm not done.
No, that's all we have time for.
I'm not. Oh!
That's terrible.
Oh! Went off the rails.
First off, is that my wig from Lady Ballers?
What are you talking about?
How dare you?
What are you talking
about? And second of all, I love that the hyphen went between Scarlett and Bob and not between Bob and Johnson.
Some guys' dreams are crushed.
So your name's Scarlett Bob.
How did you land on the name Scarlett Bob Johnson?
I mean, it's just, it spoke to me in the wind.
Spoke to me in the wind. Oh, man. You know what?
God, that poor guy.
Can you bring up J.K. Rowling's tweet on this?
Yeah.
Like, some people really stood up and showed out on this issue.
And this one shocked me.
Look at this.
This one shocked me. The person who is created a whole fictional wizarding world that had all types of stuff in it. I mean, think about all the Dobby, all the characters in Harry Potter. But yet you're the one that can sit there and be like, there's dudes and there's chicks. That's it. It's that simple. That one shocked me. But you look at like the rest of them, unless there's some sort of full-throated apology from some of these people, and even at that point, like, I don't know if I can forgive y'all for this. How
about Martina Navratilova?
Oh, yeah.
Do we have hers?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the greatest tennis players of all time says, I hate that the Democrats totally failed women and girls on this very clear issue of women's sports being for females only. I just wonder how many people who didn't vote for Donald Trump, and there's plenty listening to the show, all sorts of people listening to the show, but they see this as a win.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody that's logical in mind Anybody that's logical in mind. I mean, do we have the Billie Jean King? This is the worst one. This is like the reverse J.K. Rowling. This woman made her name defending women's rights. When she played against the guy tennis player who was older or whatever, that's her claim to fame. She goes, there's no place in any sport for discrimination of any kind. I'm proud to support all transgender athletes who simply want the access and opportunity to compete in the sport they love. They do! Nobody is telling a guy that thinks he's a woman that he can't play in guys' sports. Like, how stupid are you? How dumb can you possibly be? I don't get it. There's nobody saying you can't play. They're not like, oh, wait, you're gay? No, you can't play football.
Would you stop discriminating against people, man?
It's
about people's feelings, Jay.
I just don't know how you defend this.
How about Michelle Tafoya?
How you defend this and you're able to drive a car?
I think Michelle Tafoya might have had the winner on this one. Hey, Mark Cuban, remember that time you said Trump never stood on the same stage as a bunch of strong, powerful women? That's a slam dunk.
God, Mark Cuban's taking L's left and right. L's left and right. Nobody's had a worse last
week.
6 months than that guy. I mean, he has no choice. All right, let's move on to chat here.
All right, Chad, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you donate, it's on topic. It will get read. Let's start with a $4 donation from the L Money Man. Appreciate it. It says, I quit watching ESPN a while ago and started watching y'all's show. You say it's a 99% issue, but the polls I've seen, it's actually whittled down to 80-20.
Look, I'm not a big believer in the polls. I have literally never met a person that has told me, hey, I think men should play in women's sports. I've never met that person. You can talk about polls and all this, and I guess some of them are better than others. I really do think it's at least a 90% issue. Yeah. Because I think even, like, if people would be honest, I think some people are afraid to be honest. I think some people, they get caught up and they're like, hey, should transgender, females play in women's sports or whatever? I can never keep track of it in my mind because it's always changing. And they're like, oh, yeah, because they're afraid. I think if you actually got the truth from every person, even the Megan Rapinos and the people that believe, that have said that they don't want this, deep down they know. Because if you don't know, then I am worried about you operating a car. I'm worried about you being able to buy a gun. Because if you can think that's reality, how do I know you're not going to think a stop sign's a rhinoceros or like something like that? I mean, it's a dangerous level of stupidity, in my opinion.
Or they want to feel the need to toe the party line, but really on that specific issue, they do disagree with it. Again, because I worked in entertainment for the last 12 years. Like, even transgender people who I've worked with say, yeah, I want rights, but I don't think that I should play in someone else's sport.
It's just obvious.
Let's go to a $5 donation from Adam. Appreciate it, Adam. He said, the one big key with me was the swiftness that Trump got this done. I got excited about that because it obviously must mean a lot to him.
Well, it does. I think it means a lot to all of us. I mean, it's just I'm worried that we even have to do this. That's why I said in the open, like, the fact that we have to do this, like, to come out and say, hey, we can't allow this anymore, is scary to me.
All right, let's go to a $4 donation from Linda. Thank you, Linda. I honestly can't understand how the heck women can back erasing themselves. It actually turns out we are part of the problem.
It's cultish behavior. This is what happens in a cult. Just like the people in that one cult thought they were going to ride a comet that was going to take them to heaven. I guess if you're so bought in on something, then you just lose touch with reality. It is falling in line with the cult. And you know what? Those aren't even the people that I would be the most frustrated with, because you're just very gullible and you really have nothing to stand on. It's the people that know it's wrong, yet still go along with it. Those are the people that I'd be frustrated with, because you're willing to eradicate women from women's sports just to make yourself look better. I think it's sick. But all right, let's move on here.
All right, let's move on to Punt or Go. We're going to make a statement here, and the other two guys can disagree with that statement by punting, or they can agree with it and go for the prompt. I'm going to start off with the NBA, and bear with me for just 1 second here. Jimmy Butler, who was with the Miami Heat, ended the standoff with Miami with the 6-time All-Star forward set to join the Golden State Warriors in a blockbuster 4-team trade Wednesday night. Miami has gotten Kyle Anderson, Andrew Wiggins. This was huge news, but the reason I want to talk about this, and I've heard so many people, at least a dozen this week alone since the Luka trade as well, who've said, I haven't watched a single NBA game this entire season, but I've tuned in to check out what the trade news is. Clearly, the trades in the NBA are now more interesting than the sport itself, and I'm kind of in that camp too, and I think that is sad. So my statement is the NBA should just move to China. That's the long-term goal here. That's what they want to do. They should move to China. Punt or go.
I go. I go on the NBA move to China, and it's for a couple reasons. One, you just said it. More people are interested in the trades than the games. It's like having a burger joint, but people like the French fries better. That ain't going to last unless you turn into a French fry place, and I don't think the NBA can just turn into a league that just trades players and doesn't play games. But there's a little bit, I think, where it can be a win-win here. The NBA's cooked. I don't think it's getting back. I think you'd have to blow it up and rebuild it from the start, but we don't have time for that. One of the reasons we owe China, as April of 2024 last year, $749 billion. How much the NBA worth to y'all? Let's just say $500 billion, and because y'all started COVID, we'll just call it even after that. So let's have the NBA go to China, right? You play college basketball, we'll keep college basketball. You want to play in the NBA? Congrats, right? Head on over to Hong Kong or whatever. So I do think, and if you look at the numbers, like China loves the NBA a ton, just like Japan loves baseball. Look at the Dodgers. So yes, NBA should move to China. Let's wipe that debt out. Y'all can have it. The trades are more exciting than the games. It's an absolute trash product. Y'all go ahead and have it.
Move to China, punt or go?
Punt. You don't need to be giving Chinese anything. All right, they got enough down there. We can fix it. All right, and this is how you fix it. First, oh God, the timing of that just absolutely threw me off. First, load management has to go. It has to go, and a way you can do that, if you are going to be in the running for MVP, if you are going to be in the running for an all-NBA team, you have to play a certain amount of games in a season to even be a part of that award. One, you can do that. Two, you got to fix the star power when it comes to these guys like LeBron and Kyrie, Steve Kerr, Stephen Curry. We got to find guys who actually love America. You can't say, because look, you can say what you want, but Americans like basketball. I like college basketball. It's been in America forever. And we're just getting to the point where we're not as warm to it because the stars that are in their league are basically acting like communists. And when we can fix that and go into a different direction, then I think we can get back. And we also need the big rivalries in the NBA. When was the NBA the best? In the 90s, right? Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. Now you have just a bunch of soft asses running around a basketball court complaining about things. Bring back those days and you can fix the NBA.
Well, it's hard to create rivalries when all these guys keep flipping teams left and right year in and year out. I mean, I can't keep up with where Kevin Durant even plays.
I mean, there's just no stability, but the product on the court isn't good. I think Blaine brings up a great point, though. I think the attitude of the stars is awful. It's awful. Most of them do hate America. They talk down about America. They probably love China. I mean, hell, nobody loves China more than LeBron. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, just send them over there. Y'all have fun. See how it is for you. See how much you enjoy it. Say something bad about China while you're over there, too, and see how they react to it. Because you're going to find America's a lot more lenient when you say bad things about them. I just think they're overpaid babies. The NBA's done. It's cooked. Send it away. Just leave us college basketball. You want to play pro basketball? Just get on a plane, fly over there, have fun. I'm not watching this trash anymore.
All right, next one up here. Deion Sanders made a statement to his former teammate, Troy Aikman. He said, I wouldn't be able to coach today's pros. I couldn't coach pro ball because of the way they practice, the way they go about it. I couldn't take it as a man and as a football enthusiast, and I care about the game. I couldn't coach them. So, Blaine, you want to tee this one up for us?
Yes, I would. And we're going to start with you, David. Deion Sanders is just making excuses. Punt or go.
Ooh, that's interesting. I'm actually going to punt, though. I don't think he's making excuses as much as he's calling out the current nature of the NFL. This kind of piggybacks right on what we're talking about with the NBA. I don't think the NFL is in quite the state that the NBA is. I mean, the numbers show that, and I think fantasy football has been a huge boon to the league. But I think we can look around at the number of flags that get thrown, at the rules that get instituted, and it's not just a pro thing. This is happening in college. I talked to my former high school coach. He's saying, look, guys don't even want to come out here and put shoulder pads anymore. You remember us growing up, man? We couldn't wait to get out there. Not that I loved every single football practice, but hey, we went and suited up for a reason. Good on Deion Sanders for calling out the current state of the NFL, and I do think if the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones called, best believe he would have had to change of heart real quick. He would have been the head coach of the Cowboys.
All right, I love it. Jake, Deion Sanders is just making excuses. You punting or you going?
Man, I'm gonna go on this because, and look, you know, I like Deion Sanders. Y'all know how I feel about this. But at the end of the day, I think Deion likes to control the narrative. I think Deion doesn't want to look weak. I don't think Deion was offered a pro job. I don't think, obviously the Cowboys didn't hire him. You look at Jacksonville, some of these other teams, and I don't think Deion wants it to look like he wanted it but didn't get it. Now, could a part of this be true, Coney? With what you said? Maybe a little bit, but I don't really look at Prime as the example of not being able to have the cachet in the locker room or to be able to mold and maybe change some of the attitudes of the players because of the type player he was. But I do know that Deion wants to look like he is in charge, that Deion can get anything that he wants, because that's part of the allure of Deion Sanders. Right? He's the big guy, big ego, that he can move mountains. Look what he did at Colorado. Look what he did at Jackson State. Of course he could go to the NFL if he wanted to. But I think him saying, I couldn't coach pro ball because of the way they are, is kind of a shield because the NFL didn't want him to go coaching.
I think maybe here's the better question, and you can weigh in on this. Is his statement on the NFL hypocritical? A lot of these guys are following in his footsteps. When you talk about the way he plays, the way he goes about his business, the big ego, a lot of them are instituting what he set up back in the 80s and 90s. Is it hypocritical of him to say, or is he just talking about the physicality on the field?
You know, and I'd like to get a little more nuance from what he said to know that difference. But if you're talking about the attitude of guys and like being prima donnas and things like that, I mean, didn't your son go to Milan instead of going to meetings last year for Fashion Week?
Look, man, that's
like,
Europe.
But see, here's the crazy part. I think Prime would be perfect for the NFL with the way he coaches and goes about things.
Do you?
Yes, and I've said that. That's why I thought there was a good chance that if he did leave, it wouldn't be to go from Colorado to Florida State or Ohio State or whatever. It would be to the NFL because I think he fits it perfectly in the way that he can demand respect, but then the way he goes about things and understands kind of the personalities. Because who was a bigger personality in the NFL and Major League Baseball than Deion Sanders?
Yeah.
I mean, it just, yeah. I think it makes sense.
All right, big news here from college football. 5-star defensive tackle Justice Terry flipped from Georgia to Texas and basically citing NIL as the reason, if we could pull up there what he said. But Georgia now has proposed a bill that would prevent NIL from being taxed. Isn't that what they did?
Yeah. State income tax on college athletes.
Proposes a bill for state income tax.
Yes.
To be exempt when it comes to name, image, and likeness payments to college athletes. So can you set this one up?
Absolutely. I know we're going to switch it up. We're going to start with you, Jake.
Okay.
Keep the body guessing. Keep the mind moving. That's what it's about. Georgia should ban NIL taxes. You punting or are you going?
I'm going. You want to know why? Georgia has a 5.49% state income tax, which is very high, especially when you look at places like Florida. You look at places like Tennessee and a place like, I don't know, Texas, where Justice Terry just flipped to because he got a better NIL package. I mean, Chad Simmons from On 3 said it. I don't know another way to tell you this, but he went to Texas because the NIL package was better. And this is what I mean by people have a misconstruing of what it just means more means. Like, it doesn't mean that we always think we have the best teams. It's we're willing to do what you aren't. We're willing to change the tax code. We're willing to do whatever. The only way you'd ever have people in the South agreeing on men and women's sports is if it helped the football team. All right, how do you think we ended racism in the South? That's really how it ended. So at the end of the day, this is a smart move from Georgia. You got to be competitive in the NIL space. It's about the bag, baby. Being a great recruiter doesn't matter anymore. You can be the best salesman of all time. But if these guys are getting offered deals that are way better, you're not going to compete. Georgia is just adjusting to the market, even if it means changing the state income tax. And you know what? Change it for everybody while you're at it. You'll never lose another election.
David Cohn, should Georgia ban NIL taxes? Are you punting? Are you?
Jake makes a bunch of great points, but I'm punting for this reason. There should be no taxes to ban in the first place. Okay?
Here.
State income taxes, get out of here.
Get out of here.
Federal level, get out of here.
Don't
get me started on property taxes. Taxation is theft. Maybe the boy Elon Musk and the Doge and all that, maybe they're actually getting some stuff figured out. Vivek, I don't know exactly, but let's get that piece of it figured out, and then maybe there would be no name, image, and likeness to tax in the first place. I just think it's amazing because we talked about this kid with Rusty Manziel for a long, long time. From Georgia, he was going to go to Georgia, and he basically says, Texas offered me a better NIL package. I mean, is this the right move for Kirby? That's the bigger question because they still got the number one D tackle and the number one edge.
They want it all, Cone. You know how this works.
I know they want them all, but in this era, like, you got to
do whatever it takes.
I saw Georgia fans.
Take down the stop signs. And you know what? I'm with you. We should abolish all taxes. And I've said this multiple, especially when we're finding out what our taxes are going to. They're making fake boobs for trans people in Guatemala.
People think, my tax dollars are going to fixing the road. Nah.
No.
Let me give you a hint.
You know what I would be fine with? Taxing NIL. If I know my tax money's going to get us a 5-star defensive tackle, okay, I'm fine with it. But I don't want it to be buying, all this like condoms for, blind people in Saudi Arabia. I don't want my tax dollars going. Give me a 5-star defensive tackle.
Did you hear we spent $20 million to create a Middle East version of Sesame Street? Yeah, let that one sink in.
What does that
20
even
mil.
look
like?
If y'all just breaking people.
Where is this? In the Middle East? Where in the Middle East?
I forget.
Was it Iraq? Wasn't it Iraq or Iran? What is an Iraq sesame?
Talk amongst yourselves, and I'll look.
What does that look like to you? In your mind, Blaine.
I can't say that on YouTube.
I say Iraq sesame street. What does Big Bird look like? I know what he looks like.
What?
Well, he's carrying a bag.
Yeah, carrying a bag and probably something else. Have you ever seen Big Bird with an RPG? You want to talk about a big bird just walking through Elmo's kid? Just walking through. Elmo has a knife and an AK-47.
That's a big, scary ass.
It was Phil Mickelson. So Charlie Kirk put out this thing. It was $20 million for a Sesame Street show in Iraq. Phil Mickelson tweeted, I love that it's still on theme for sports. I would just like to say Sesame Street is an excellent show. Iraqis deserve to have it, and although production costs were under $500K, shooting on site required $19.5 million more to ensure.
No, I want that back. Y'all come up with y'all's own stuff. Sesame Boulevard or Sesame Chicken. I don't know. Something else.
All right, next one up. Can you tee up Ryan Day's contract extension?
Ryan Day had got a new contract where he's going to get paid $12.5 million through the 2031 season. And the question is for Punter Go. We're going to start with you because I cannot wait to hear your answer at the end.
I want to start.
You want to start it? All right. Let's go. Ryan Day's contract extension is a huge win for Michigan.
Yes! Yes! This is the best news that I have ever heard. Seriously, though, I just want to know, are Michigan fans more excited about Ryan Day's contract extension than Buckeyes fans are? Because here's the way we think about it. Okay, a couple weeks ago, you won the national championship. You were doing that anyway. Urban Meyer was doing that, and you were beating Michigan. Right? Like your other coaches were beating Michigan and winning national championships. So now, can we at least go on a 4-game run here where we're beating you? Ryan Day has a losing record against Michigan. And during that time, Michigan won their first national championship in 25 years. So as far as I'm concerned, hey, let them get the natty. If we're not going to win it, fine, let them win the natty. As long as we're beating them, this is a huge win for Michigan.
Jake, Ryan Day's contract extension is a huge win for Michigan. Are you punting or are you going?
Look, I'm going to fake punt on this one because I don't know if it's a huge win for Michigan. I just think it's a huge loss for Ryan Day. And I know people say, oh, it's $12.5 million and, you know, it makes him the second highest paid coach. Look, you should have got out while the getting was good, dog. Yeah, you lose to Michigan next year. I don't care what they gave you, what they said or whatever. This just feels like the people who are struggling in their marriage so they decide to have a kid. Maybe that'll fix it. Hey, let's just spend more time together. Let's have even more responsibility, and it's definitely going to work out until you realize that you both still hate each other at 1 a.m. when the baby's screaming, crying. Ryan Day, they don't love you, dog. They don't love you like you. They act like they love you. You remember all the things they said about you after losing to Michigan?
Not me.
Making fun of you, talking about your beard and all these things. Lose to Michigan next year and don't win the Natty. Because then it's all downhill. What Ohio State should have done is what Michigan did. They should have asked for some money back. When did Harbaugh and Michigan flip it around and start beating Ohio State? They came and took money away from Harbaugh. That's what they should have done. That would have set the standard that the game is that important. National championships are important, but the game is that important. We want our money back. It's a huge mistake by Ryan Day.
This is where Michigan fans have to be careful, though, because when Jim Harbaugh got one of those contract extensions before he had beaten the Buckeyes, Buckeyes Twitter went on there and liked the post. Great. We love Jim Harbaugh got a contract extension. And then he went on this generational run against them.
Yeah.
Michigan fans need to make sure that doesn't happen here.
Yeah, so don't listen to what David
flip
Coe
the
just
script.
said.
I need to delete everything that I said.
Yes, you do. But talking about, crazy relationships, I'm going to tell you about one of the most sturdy relationships I got. I'm talking about somebody I can just count on. And that's our friends over at Black Rifle Coffee. Because I love coffee. Drink it every day, morning, afternoon. Sometimes I feel weird and I drink it at night. But it doesn't matter when you have a delicious blend of light roast, dark roast, everything in between, espresso. But more importantly, a portion of every purchase you make with Black Rifle Coffee goes towards supporting veteran and first responder causes. Your money goes a long way toward giving back to those who serve our nation. So head on over to blackriflecoffee.com right now. Use our code DailyWire. Not if you're driving. If you're driving, just wait till you get home or pull off on the side of the road. Use code DailyWire. Get 20% off America's coffee. That's blackriflecoffee.com. Use code DailyWire. Coney, are you still drinking that Electric Eagle espresso?
No, I'm on Silencer Smooth, but whatever they send me, I'm on this variety pack where I pay
you do
for
like
the
to
thing
mix it up.
They mix it up for me.
Really?
I don't even get a say anymore.
I love it.
I used to order it like, oh, here's the one I want, and I ordered it. Now I'm on just the, hey, surprise me each month.
And it's always good.
I don't know if that's what the plan's called.
It's like me watching Vegas Vacation on Christmas. I watch it only during Christmas, and it's always good.
Surprise me. Make me happy.
Yeah, that's blackriflecoffee.com. Use that code, Daily Wire. All right, let's get to the chat here.
Audible, though, I have one more. Alabama
one more?
football. I have some breaking. I have a hot route here.
Oh, I love
Alabama
this.
football.
Oh,
Do you mind if I do this real quick? Because I think the chat might want to weigh in on this one. Alabama offensive lineman Rock Montgomery says that the team is more dialed in this offseason. Quote, you can't be late to workouts no more. No more jewelry. No more necklaces. None of that. It's not a fashion show. It's football, unquote. You want to tee this one up here?
Yeah,
Chris?
I would absolutely love to. I can't believe this was getting let happen.
God, he actually said that?
All right, punt or go to finish it off. We're going to start it off with you, David. Nick Saban is furious about this statement. Are you punting or are you going?
I'm going to punt it because if you're Nick Saban, you already knew what the deal was. If you're Nick Saban, you already walk around thinking you're the greatest college football coach of all time because he was. So you already know no one else is going to be able to come in and just automatically keep up the standard. I mean, I know he still has an office up there. Is he wondering what Kalen DeBoer is doing? Maybe, but I don't know if Nick Saban wants Alabama to be awesome after he retired. You won 6 national championships there, 7 overall. I think he wants Alabama just to win enough so that the program is good, it's in good hands, but not so much that it overtakes the legacy that he built there.
All right, Jake. Nick Saban.
Nick Fury?
He's a real person, too. Nick Saban was furious about this statement. Are you punting or are you going?
No, David, I disagree with you. I'm going to go on this because, look, do I think Nick Saban wants Kalen DeBoer to outdo him? Probably not deep down. But just think about you built up this monster into something so perfect. And you did it with discipline. You did it with organization. You did it with structure. And then when you get to the end of the road and you're ready to hand it off, you hand it off to a guy that I know he had a say in the hire. You can't convince me he didn't. Then you find out you're letting players show up late to workouts. Dog, do you know where you're at? You went from and I said this when the hire happened, you went from a military style to a frat house. And now it's playing out true. So think about it. You raise your kid, healthy, works hard. All of a sudden, you hand her off to the husband that you trusted, the guy you okayed for her to marry. Come back 2 years later. He's lazy, right? Out of shape, doesn't want to work, personality's totally changed. You're going to ruin the whole thing. He didn't want the whole thing to burn down. He just wanted to kind of stall and just sit there. But if I'm an Alabama fan and I heard this, and that player had some balls to say it, like, now you're giving me insight into maybe this guy is soft. Maybe this guy can't do it. Because it takes a certain type of dude. Because this isn't Washington. Okay, this isn't Sioux Falls. This isn't Fresno State. It's life or death over here, buddy. And if y'all are showing up late to workouts, it's starting to sound like who, David? Mike Shula, who had the TVs on. In front
Does he get penalized for going over his time?
Nah.
Huh?
Yeah.
This is an audible. You do an extra
loss.
one on me. Sometimes it goes 2 overtimes, David.
Okay, let me phrase it to you like this then. Okay, Nick Saban has 2 options. He can only pick one. 2 binary, kind of like gender, right? No more than 2. Alabama, and I want your answer on this too. Alabama can go 9-4 over the next 4 seasons. So they already did. They do that 4 seasons in a row. Or Kalen DeBoer can win 4 straight national championships. Nick Saban gets the say. Which one's he picking?
Oh, 9-4.
9-4.
There's no way he wants them to win 4 straight natties.
No, hell no.
There's no way.
Not deep
So,
down.
you know what that means? That means maybe not showing up to practice on time.
Well, let me tell you about somebody who does show up on time. Our friends over Our friends over at Shopify. All right, because you know what's fascinating about successful businesses today like Gymshark or Cotopaxi? It's not just about having a great product or cool marketing. It's about what's happening behind the scenes, you guys. All right, we know that. We're in a movie. The real game changer is often the business powering the business, making every sale seamless and simple. Starting a podcast, starting a hardware store, wanting to be a dolphin trainer. You need help behind the scenes to upgrade your business and get the same checkout the companies I mentioned like Gymshark and Cotopaxi use with Shopify. And you can sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Crain. All lowercase. That's shopify.com/CRAIN. You can start upgrade your selling today. All right, shopify.com/CRAIN. Hit that button on there, David. Find that button for me.
Got it.
Guess what? You hear this? You just made another sale. And rumor has it was seamless and super duper simple. Shopify, lowercase Crain. Don't blow it this time. All right. Let's get to the chat.
All right, let's go to a $5 donation from Greeny. Appreciate it, man. He says the real question is how did this guy win all those games at Washington?
It's that's the first thing when you just brought that up, David, because I didn't know we were doing that one. And again, if you look back, like look at the top 25 coaches list. Like Kalen DeBoer's like 7-0 against them. So I'm not saying all the stuff he didn't work, but maybe it worked at that place. Maybe at Washington. Maybe at Fresno. Maybe a place where people surf and like, hey, we like football, but, we like to go there and sit by trees and learn about them, about bark and pine cones and stuff. That's not Alabama. Like, it's got to be perfect. What did Coach Boone say from Remember the Titans? We will be perfect. You're showing up late to workouts after Nick Saban just left? That ain't going to work here. And now everybody knows. That O-lineman screwed him. Because I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. I didn't know players were in. I know a bunch of people in there.
We
but
suspected
now,
it.
Everybody knows. You let them show up late with your chains on, doing God knows what, and now you can't do it anymore. So obviously he's changing it because he knows it's not going to work, but man, that's a bad look, dude.
Let's go to a $1.99 donation from Andrew. Appreciate it, Andrew. He says, I'm worried about sending the NBA to China because of one reason and one reason only. I don't think they're ready to see Zach Edey.
Look, they got something bigger waiting. And they sent Yao Ming over here, right? Yao Ming was from China. Zach Edey ain't going to scare him. But we also got that 7'9" freshman who's redshirting at Florida right now. So
Oliver Rue?
Yeah, and listen, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I don't think size of person is the reason to be worried about China compared to us.
It's Godzilla reference.
No, it's not. I just think we're bigger than they are physically.
You're not wrong there. Let's go to a $2 donation from J-Dub. Appreciate it, J-Dub. He says, when's the last time you saw Bama's preseason win total being 8.5? It is slowly crumbling, boys, and I'm going to be sitting there to watch it.
It's you, boy. Boy, you talk about getting pissed. You talk about having the village turn against you. Yeah, go 8-4 next year after not making it. Lose to Auburn next year. But all right, let's get to the poll.
All right, poll. Who won Punt or Go? Blaine, Jake, or David? Blaine coming in with a 30%. Jake, 34%. Coney taking it home at a dirty 36%.
Ooh, pretty tight today.
Good job, David. That was pretty tight. I
Quite
like
like
that.
a
Super
pretty tight.
Toyga. All right, what do we got next, Cone?
I think we need to find the fake and the control room's in charge. Justine, what you got for us today?
All right, boys, let's see how you do today.
These better not suck.
Yeah, I hope you guys really didn't screw it up.
Okay.
Is this Super
you
Bowl
complained
edition?
enough about it today, so these better be
are
good.
Super Bowl themed. I don't know what you're talking about, Blaine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number one. In 2001, the New England Patriots' preseason odds to win the Super Bowl were plus 6,000. Number two. In 1999, the St. Louis Rams' preseason odds were plus 15,000. And number three, in 2017, the Philadelphia Eagles' preseason odds were plus 8,000. Find the fake.
God, why am I just weirdly confident about this? I don't know. It's like after a few drinks, walking in the bar, you're just oddly confident.
How much of Justine hating the Eagles?
That's what I always think about. You got to know who's holding the cards here.
I avoided putting the Giants in this one because it was also...
All right. Are we ready? I'm going to show them? Show your cards. I'm going 2.
Number 1.
I'm going 2.
Number 1.
If it's 3, I know.
Oh,
of course.
Of course it is.
The odds are actually just plus 4,000.
I'm shocked.
Just don't go with my gut.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Of course it's 3. All right, so everybody's still at 0. In the chat, you can guess 2, but only one of us can win.
All right, next up. Number 1. The Bills' starting quarterback in Super Bowl 27, Jim Kelly, was replaced by backup Frank Reich during the game due to injury. Number 2. The Buffalo Bills were the first team in NFL history to lose 4 consecutive Super Bowls, a streak that lasted from 1990 to 1993. Oh, I messed up the order. Sorry, guys. And the Super Bowl 28, the Bills' offense became the first in Super Bowl history to gain over 400 total yards, but still lose by more than 10 points.
All right. I'm not as oddly confident this time.
Don't look at my board again.
I'm not. Oh, listen. There's a lot of boards I'll look at. Yours ain't one of them. What do you like, David? I've got a theory on this. God, I'm with you.
We all say number 1.
And the reveal?
Ha-ha!
Well done. Well done.
Dial
There we
in
go.
on that one.
You
What's
now
fake
each
about
have
that?
one.
What's fake
He
about
did that. That wasn't in the Super Bowl, right?
Correct.
It was in the
He did not.
playoffs.
Yes,
But it
he
was
did not
wasn't
leave the Super Bowl.
Well done.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Frank Wright's record
So
against
it's a tied.
Patrick
It's a tied ball game, boys.
All right. Here we
All
go.
right, last one. Number 1. The largest placed wager on this Super Bowl is $800,000 on the Eagles' money line. Number 2. The largest player prop wager on this Super Bowl is a $25,000 bet on Eagles running back Saquon Barkley to win the Super Bowl MVP. And number 3, Super Bowl 59 is projected to set a new record for sports betting in the U.S. with an estimated $1.5 billion in legal wagers nationwide.
You got mine.
I got mine.
You ready?
God, David.
One again.
We all picked one.
It's got to be bigger
more
than
than
that.
800.
Yeah, that's what
And
I
the big
think, too.
reveal?
No way.
Yes, it
There's
is
a
actually.
larger.
I thought the
It's-
prop bet can only go to 25,000.
The prop bet is for Travis Kelce to win the MVP, not Saquon.
So the largest place wager on this year's Super Bowl is only $800,000. We need to talk to Jeremy.
Yeah, let's put a milli on there.
all right, so
Yeah,
you guys are
that's the
tied, and I
record.
have a tiebreaker.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a number.
You've done
answer.
your extra credit.
I just know with you guys, you all think
Yeah.
alike.
Yeah.
Who is the player with the most career rushing yards in Super Bowl history?
All right, say that again.
Who is the player with the most career rushing yards in Super Bowl history?
In a game or like all time?
In the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Or no, it's overtime, sorry.
Okay, hold on. So the running back that has had the most rushing yards in all of his games that has played in the Super Bowl or just in the Super Bowl?
In the Super Bowl.
Okay. Hold on. Let's spell this right.
Can
It's
be
not
over the
Sc-
course of several Super Bowls.
It's not
but
Scarlett
in the
Bob
Super Bowl.
Johnson, is it?
She's
Scarlett Bob
former
Johnson?
basketball player.
Is this Scarlett Bob Johnson?
Yeah. All right, y'all wrote it down. Stop looking on your computer.
I'm on the chat.
No.
Yeah,
don't-
see, disqualify
okay,
this guy.
Zuckerberg.
I have to do my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your job is writing on a
his
blog.
job.
Chat, sorry.
His job.
Can't wait. Rest of the show.
Look at him.
Can't
Look
rest
at
of the
him.
show.
That's right.
Look
Rest
at
of
him.
the
Do you have an
show
answer,
is
Blaine?
not even
like what
matter.
they
You have an
say.
answer? What's the answer, Blaine?
Or
I don't
are you
have an
giving
answer.
up? Are you tapping out?
Dog, your answer's the same as mine, and it's probably right.
Let's reveal.
I'm flipping.
What is it?
I'm flipping.
right,
Emmett Smith.
Emmett Smith.
Oh.
Timmy
Smith. Emmett Smith, and Timmy Smith.
The answer is Franco Harris.
Franco.
With what?
Yeah.
Franco
that's a
Harris.
good one. What did he win? Four of them?
Yeah, with the Steelers, right?
You guys are still tied. You want to take a number
Wait,
of
what
the
was
guests?
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
the question
Give me a
wrong.
number over the course of 4 Super Bowls. So pick the rushing yards over the course of his 4 Super
That he
Bowls.
has?
Franco
Yes.
Harris had rushing.
He has over 4.
Yes.
The total number of yards over 4 Super Bowls? Four Super Bowls.
Okay. You got your number?
Yeah, I got my number.
I got my number too.
Got my number. I'll show you.
My number.
Reveal.
399.
425.
550.
Come on, 399.
And the closest to the correct answer, which was 354 yards,
Yes!
David
That's
Coe.
crap.
Yes!
I didn't understand the question before. It got wrong.
Yeah,
Hey,
Franco Harris, baby.
Hey, I wonder, was there a Timmy Smith that played in the Super Bowl? Because Blaine
I'm gonna
looked
have to
that
look
up
that
like
up.
a
I just wanna
son of a
know
gun.
who Timmy
He
Smith
100%.
is.
If that's the answer to anything close, or what he thought it was.
I thought the question, what was the question again? I thought who had the most rushing yards in the Super Bowl?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Super Bowl history.
history,
Who
like
is
over like
Timmy
that
Smith?
that you could play in multiple.
Oh, in multiple
Also,
Super Bowls.
guys, Timmy Smith played in
Timmy
Super
Smith
Bowl
for the
22
Redskins.
for the
Timmy
Redskins.
Smith is an American
You're the
former professional
cheapest
football
ass
player
dude
who was
who had
a
it.
running back
Who
for
had
the
like 200
Washington
yards.
Redskins and the Dallas
no
You
Cowboys.
can play with him in Madden.
You knew that.
You
off the
never
top
heard of him
your
before
head.
You can
today.
play with him in Madden.
Bro.
What Super Bowl?
What college did he go to?
I don't know. Why would I know that?
Texas Tech.
Yeah, I went
What
to
high
that.
school did he go to?
Yeah.
If you don't know it, you're a
Texas
cheater.
Tech.
Wow,
Guys.
that's what an
Tom's
amazing-
high.
I followed sports my whole life. I had no idea who Timmy Smith
I
was.
can't believe we said
None
Emmitt
at all.
Smith, and he
None
said
at all.
Timmy
All right,
Smith.
let's get to the chat before I get to these bets.
All right, let's go to a $4 donation from Marshawn. He says, Blaine, you have one job, and that's taking over the WNBA. Who cares who wins this? Thank you.
I don't hate that
appreciate
answer
it.
actually.
All right, let's go to a $2 donation from The Truth. Appreciate it, man. Says, guys, the NBA just wouldn't fit in China, and we don't need to give them any more pieces anyway.
What do you mean it wouldn't fit?
Keep that here in America, USA.
Well, they got to start loving us. Maybe y'all should go over there for a couple years and just see how it is. See how it goes for you over there. China loves basketball. It's like Japan loves baseball. I heard something the other day that said Japan, the Dodgers made more money off merch in Japan for Shohei than they made in the whole United States.
Makes sense.
That's why they're signing more of them. Are you kidding me? We basically look like the Japanese generals of World War II before I got done with the team.
Let's go to welcome to the Plains. Excuse me. He says if DeBoer has another 9-win season, his ass will be fired. Sarker and Lane will be coaching Alabama.
But let me throw this in here. Let's say he goes 9-3, but they make the playoffs and then get bounced in the first round. You think he's fired?
Man.
Because if he goes 9-3 and doesn't make it, I think old boy's in trouble.
I don't think.
And I've heard from people that would know that he would be in trouble.
I don't think he'll be fired. I just think it's going to be hard for them to make it at 9-3 because where Clemson did that, they won the ACC. I don't think a 3-loss team is going to win the SEC.
Well, do you think maybe now that SMU, it kind of went down like that and they looked at the ratings at this time, the selection committees were like, nope, Bama, come here.
So they would have to be in like perfectly the identical situation. Which could happen.
They always just somehow find a way to fall perfectly in.
Right on the line.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Let's go to JC. What's up, man? He says, Bama is returning a lot from last season. They will have a different QB, but they're going to be good, fellas, and we all know that.
The QB is important, though.
Well,
right?
I think good. Yeah, QB is important, but good and elite are two different things.
All right, let's go to a $2 donation from Ron. Appreciate it, man. He says, is Alabama a playoff team this year?
That's the question.
Contender. And again, until I know what's going on at quarterback and how it looks, that's why I think Ryan Grubb was so important, because he can develop quarterbacks so well. So that's what I kind of want to see.
Let's go to a $5 donation from Matt. Appreciate it. So you're telling me that these guys were showing up late to workouts? What is going on in Tuscaloosa? It's time to get the GOAT back. He'll come back for a couple more years. Give me Nick Saban.
I think he's done now. Now I got to come in. Now I got to come in and fix it again. Like, look, I buy a home that needs remodeling. Okay, I'll spend the money on that if I got to. All right. Oh no, I left to go on vacation. Natural disaster. Home needs remodeling again. Now we're moving. I'm out.
All right, let's go to the cunning one. What's up, dude? He says, I like how David's board says David answer like he's not the one holding it.
I was wondering if anyone would catch that. Is there any proof that Blaine cheated?
Yeah.
Is there proof?
Blaine misunderstood the question and typed in who had the most rushing yards in a single Super Bowl into ChatGPT because that answer is none of
y'all see
Timmy Smith.
No, shut up. How do you even make that correlation?
What do you mean?
I checked to see where you got
threw
Timmy
a hot
Smith
dog
from.
under your chair in our hot dog eating contest.
And I can see your laptop.
With certain people in Madden. Throughout Madden, you can play with certain people who can play in the Super Bowl.
Deep on this one.
Right? And you can go play with Timmy Smith, who had over 200 rushing yards, in the Super Bowl. All right? So I don't understand. You just can't say something. See, this is like we're getting close to the Democrats in the control room.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, we are. We're getting close
then
somewhere.
Automatically you believe.
How about we do this? What if we do this? What if we put it as a poll in the chat?
No.
Put a poll in the chat. That's
lay yourself
fun.
at the mercy of the Booster Club.
Look at your computer after this.
I just want justice.
And see if
you can look at my computer right now.
No, not right now.
No. You want to do it?
I can see you closing tabs.
You can do it. I have all my tabs right
I'm
here.
talking about history, dog.
We can do it. Y'all don't know. Y'all think y'all know the answer? Let's look at it.
Let the Booster Club.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Just honestly, I will admit, I did not know who Timmy Smith was. I did not know.
I know. Yes, I knew. The only reason I knew
as
Timmy
a brother,
Smith
you knew who he was.
As a brother from Madden. That's the only way I knew that.
Then how did you know he had the most rushing yards in a single Super Bowl game?
Because they tell you in the game why he's in there.
God, what a coincidence, man. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
I will not take this slander in here today.
I don't know. It smells funny to me, dog.
I just wanted everyone to have all the facts, Blaine.
You don't have any facts. You just said some things that you think are facts.
It's quite coincidental.
Anyways, let's get to bets. Tonight, big one in the Big Ten. Give me Ohio State -2. I tell you got to give my brother credit. We really should have been.
It's just nothing I do.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Really should have been. Ohio State -2 at -110. And then little late night action. Shout out to our boy Sean Ketstever here. Give me Oregon State, Washington State over 145.5. If I got to wait that long at night to play a basketball game, you best believe I'm taking shots. That's going off at -120. 12. All right,
Man,
David.
I love it. All right, first one up. I'm going to take Maryland plus 2.5 in that game, minus 120. Can we both hit on that?
No.
Did you take them?
I took Ohio State minus 2.
Okay, sorry. Bet enemies tonight.
Well, I could push, and you could win if Ohio State wins by 2.
Okay, and then lastly, or secondly, I'm going to take Mercyhurst.
What the hell
I'm going to take Mercyhurst minus 1.5, minus 110. That's what I asked you. You said you went to school there or something.
No, I
got a degree from there. I'm going to take Mercyhurst tonight. Don't ask me what it is. Don't worry about it. Just trail me on this.
You knew who they were.
Minus 1.5, minus 110.
I was thinking Detroit Mercy, who I was thinking.
Nah, that's a whole different place.
Yeah, believe me. That's what they say on Thursday nights.
Mercyhurst.
All right, go ahead and pull my bets up. I'm going back to them, guys.
Love it.
They might be a boat, and we just don't know it yet. All right? They might be a boat, and we're going to find out. William Mary plus 2.5, going off at minus 102 on the road. Who are they playing? No one cares. All right? It's about them and nobody else. They give you Florida International going off at plus 1.5, minus 115. That game is at home.
William and Mary. Wagon. All right, let's go next. Ace. He's going to take Maryland and Ohio State under 147.5. I like that bet. Then Quinnipiac. All right. Minus 15.5. Going off at minus 110. All right. Blaine, knowledgeable knower of random running backs in Super Bowls.
It's like it's to the point where I just can't know anything. Anything I know is ChatGPT.
No, it's not. I'm just like, that is so oddly specific, bro. That is so oddly specific.
I know fun facts. You know, the Egyptians, the most important thing they think you could do in your life was die. Do you know that?
I can't believe you just
ChatGPT.
I know fun facts.
That's a fun fact.
Don't worry, I'll find proof. Don't worry.
That's fine. You can do. Please waste your time.
I just man, that's a very interesting fact. I don't know if it's fun, but it's a very interesting fact. All right, let's get to the chat here for some more interesting facts.
All right, I'm going to roll through these donations. We've got a $2 donation from the Chant. Appreciate it, man. It says, your job is being a lady, Blaine. You're doing a pretty good job of it.
You are a pretty good lady.
Let's go to a $5 donation from James. Appreciate it, James. He says, I know Donald Trump signed this order, but fellas, can we still expect a Lady Ballers 2?
Hey, we may mix Lady Ballers 2 and what's that movie, like White House Down or something?
Can't hold us
we're
down.
trying to attack the White. I don't know if I could say that on YouTube, but I mean, maybe we got to go in there and mix it up. I don't know. Maybe one of us runs for president.
He knows fun facts.
He knows fun facts about Egyptians.
Yeah.
And Super Bowl running backs. That's all you need.
Neil Armstrong was born on my birthday.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You're in. You're in.
Let's go to a $5 donation from the Jam. Appreciate it. He says, guys, now is the perfect opportunity for y'all to do your football in the Middle East movie. If you need a budget, I got you.
So, okay. I really think
if you got a budget, I got
ideas.
I
really think this is a winner. If you haven't heard, we thought, what a great movie to be made about bringing peace to the Middle East through football, right? Not like American football. Think about we buy Gaza. First thing we ought to do to just distract everybody from the stuff that's been going on for 70 years, two football teams. We could do it like North Carolina and Duke, dog. Chapel Hill, all right? Just 10 miles down the road. You got Gaza State and Gaza Tech. Imagine that. People stop caring about terrorism. We got to stop taking money to get weapons and put this in this NIL fund.
You think the Army-Navy rivalry is crazy?
Yeah.
Put these guys against
you think you've cared at all about a game? Gaza State versus Gaza Tech? Oh, we got to come up with the mascots. Looks like we're going to get it anyway. Why not? I'll coach. I'll volunteer as tribute. If I know it's safe.
Jake's Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Volunteer as tribute.
I'll Katniss Everdeen the out of this.
Let's go to a $5 donation from Shane. Appreciate it, Shane. Says, Blaine just acid watched his laptop and destroyed the evidence.
Yeah.
Hashtag justice for Timmy.
Yeah, Blaine pulled a Hillary.
That's good.
Can destroy itself.
Let's go to $8
Dave
donation.
Chappelle when he throws the table up.
Yeah. Oil.
$8 donation from Big Ed. Appreciate it. Timmy Smith ran for 199 yards in the Super Bowl. That Doug Williams won the Super Bowl MVP as the first black quarterback to win the Super Bowl with 5 touchdowns in the second quarter.
Big Ed, that's awesome. Blaine cheated.
I did not.
100%. I appreciate that anecdote, but 100% cheating.
$5 donation from the Buck. Appreciate it. It says, guys, Jimmy Butler is becoming my least liked player in the NBA. The guy is a problem everywhere he goes, and you guarantee he's going to be the problem on the Warriors.
You know, it's so funny because I forgot who in sports media was talking about it. We're like, well, Myles Garrett just said that he demanded a trade, so it's not as bad. Well, wait a minute. First off, this isn't the first time Jimmy Butler's done this. And Myles Garrett has played in every game and practiced in every practice. And he doesn't get paid as much as Bosa does, some of these other guys. I think Myles Garrett genuinely wants to win. He's not trying to leverage Cleveland for more money. This isn't a trick. I think he realizes I'm turning 30 this December. I need to go to a place where I can win a championship or win a Super Bowl because you're not going to do it in Cleveland. Jimmy Butler's just a problem. If everything doesn't go right for Jimmy Butler, then he wants to leave. This is another problem with the NBA. Who feels bad for these people? I'm supposed to feel bad for you? Oh, no, you don't want to go to practice? Oh, you didn't show up on the private chartered plane to go fly to L.A. or whatever? God, man, people out here struggling to get gas and stuff like this. Be more likable. Be more likable. That's it. At the end of the day, just be more likable. Be more like normal, like a normal human being.
Let's go to $5 donation from Robert. Appreciate it, Robert. He says, I haven't caught up in the show in a while, but I already know the answer to this poll is yes.
Is it, what's
Did I cheat?
He knows.
Oh, yeah. Like
is there 100%. Proof of it? Has anyone found proof?
There is no proof because it didn't.
Oh, there'll be proof. We're going to send this to the IT team.
I actually have a screenshot of him. What does that look like? He's writing
down
the moment.
Looking at.
Moment.
Yeah.
He's writing it down.
Hey, excuse me. I'm pretty sure Jake said he wanted the chat to answer as well during the segment, so I was looking at the chat's answers.
So you were getting.
So please.
So you were still stealing.
Okay.
I'm glad you admitted to stealing the answers. Whoa.
Typing a poll.
And this was the exact moment I said the question.
What's Larry David say?
Typing a poll.
The exact moment I said the
Typing
question.
a poll.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
We'll
fine.
let the tech team.
That's fine.
We'll
Look,
let Geek Squad get
please.
on this.
Yeah, please bring the tech team. It'll take them 5 weeks to figure out nothing. Might as well work for the government. Give me a $5 donation from JD. Appreciate it. I'd like to personally thank Trump for saving me a future prison sentence by signing this bill. Sir President, thank you.
Yeah. Big play. Big play.
Let's go to a $5 donation from Jimmy Knows. Jimmy, what do you know? That's the real question. Kalen DeBoer is going to be out at Alabama in the next 2 years. There's nothing that can stop it. It's a runaway train. You're having guys show up late to workouts. You're already cooked. Buddy.
Here's another thing that would scare me if I was an Alabama fan. If DeBoer gets fired in 2 years, let's say he wins 9 games twice and gets fired in 2 years, who wants that? Who wants that job? You thought it was hard to find a guy after Saban? After they just, and again, I'm not saying they'd be right or wrong for doing it, but they just guillotined him in the middle of the town square. And they're like, hey, who wants his job?
And as for going for Sark, he already was the heir apparent.
Sark,
if he didn't take it the first time, it's less likely he would take it later down the road.
You don't leave a made bed in the king's chambers. And right now, you see the money Texas has got? Shoot, Alabama doesn't have near the cash flow that Texas has.
Let's go to $2 donation from the CN. Appreciate it, man. It says the Draymond Jimmy Butler practices are going to get ugly.
Yeah, you talk about getting kicked in the wedding tackle like we opened up on. I wonder how long it's going to take Draymond to take his shot.
$5 donation from Dave. Appreciate it, Dave. Donald Trump should sign an executive order to defund ESPN.
Well, I think, why not just tariff them? But I will say this. I wonder, because we're hearing about all this money going to media organizations and this USAID, whatever it is, like Politico and some of these other places. They were just pretending like they were doing well and they were getting money from the government. I wonder, and I don't know if ESPN needs it or not, but I wonder if any sports media outlets got any money. Like, I wonder if any of them got. I really thought that. I don't think that's right.
Let's go to $5.
Unless it's us.
$5 donation from Dex. Appreciate it, Dex. He says, Timmy is in Madden. He's not wrong. Thank you.
Yeah, great.
Thank
he was
you,
featured
buddy.
in Madden. Did you see that photo of him looking at his computer?
100%. This is a Zapruder film of Crain and Company.
All right, let's go to a $5 donation from the Sir. Appreciate it. He says, first and foremost, guys, yes, I'm a woman, LOL. Also, what's the best place to get wings and what flavor of wings is best? And my pit bull says, what up?
God, first off, I love that comment. I think in All Access, you put a couple places. Guys, I'm going to tell you, Pizza Hut's wings are low-key gasoline. They're pretty good.
Huh?
They're pretty. Pizza
Hut's low-key really good.
Yeah. Like
barbecue?
Yeah.
Buffalo?
Yeah.
Lemon pepper?
Yeah. Can I say no to you?
Caribbean jerk?
Last donation of
my
the day.
favorite time to go to the Caribbean.
$2 donation from the OG says, what about Dan Lanning taking that Bama?
He ain't money. Phil Knight said he's going to give away the chest with the beating heart in it, like on Pirates of the Caribbean, if that's what it takes.
Dead man's chest.
Like, Dan Lanning is not leaving Oregon. Sark is not leaving Texas. Why? To go to Bama and do okay and get fired? No. He's good.
Thank you for the polls, for the donations today. Let's get to this poll. Did I cheat? Yes or no?
Yes, 84%.
85.
Yes, 60%.
Wow, they're actually lowballing it.
40. Well, you know.
They're being nice to you.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate you guys being here. Got a great show for you tomorrow. Make sure you check in on a Flamin' Dragon Friday. That hot take hotline is going to be open as well. And don't forget about the Super Bowl live stream this Sunday. Mission Cigar and Social. Come hang out for a good time. Have an exciting time. All right, like the chances of us not knowing that Blaine cheated.
I didn't cheat.
We're going. Yeah, gone. Can't throw me off. The water boy's a Cheeto.